On today's Saturday news, a top AEW name is reportedly not happy after this week's Dynamite. Another top WWE star is being discussed for an NXT appearance. All in 2023 reaches another milestone, and Vince McMahon makes significant changes to WWE SmackDown. Hello everyone, I'm Gareth here from WhatCulture Wrestling without Phil Chambers and his horrible beard, because who needs that man when you've got AEW drama to talk about? And oh boy, we've got some of that, because Dave Meltzer is reporting in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the latest edition, that a top star within AEW was left feeling, well, a bit unhappy. They had a bit of a bad mood on them coming out of this week's Dynamite because of all the CM Punk Elite drama, because of course, that's what all the drama right now is centered around in the land of All Elite. And, well, they described the situation as being a ticking time bomb that will not have a happy ending, because what they're trying to do right now is keep, obviously, Punker and the Elite away from each other. So CM Punk was seen as having this big collision show that was going to be his show, and his show kind of alone, and then literally a couple of days later he's there on Dynamite popping up because the Elite weren't there. They had like a pre-recorded bit backstage, so Punk popped up live in front of everybody and was like, hey everyone, I'm not even supposed to be here, and more shots fired and all the rest of it. But in regards to those comments from Meltzer saying that somebody obviously did to say to him, a source said to him that they left in a bad mood and all the time bomb stuff and everything, Dax Harwood, obviously CM Punk pal Dax Harwood, the tag champion, took to Twitter to, well, call out this person and just say they were not happy with what they said. They said, this one will get me some heat, but F it needs to be said. Whatever top star left the show in a bad mood because a certain individual was there, instead of running to Dave, why not just tell the individual face to face? That's how we used to do things back in the day, because that's how we do it in this business. Well, in a reference to the brawl out incident that obviously started all this backstage drama, Meltzer responded to this because I think a fan took a screenshot of Howard's tweet that was then very quickly deleted. They took that, sent it to Meltzer, and he said, well, remember the last time that happened when somebody said something face to face that they weren't happy with each other? We got all brawl out, didn't we? It all happened, so maybe it's not a wise thing to do that right now. Maybe don't just put people in these situations where they are going to start arguing and feeling upset and bad moods and all that kind of horribleness. So obviously, yeah, it was noted, I think earlier this week, that there is some divisiveness very much there in AEW right now, and it's worse than it's been in a while since Punk's come back and said the things he said on Collision, and then the ESPN interview, all that stuff. It's just been drama. And I feel like even more's coming, really, because we've got Sunday, which is Forbidden Door, and you got the Elite who are going to be in the match. Kenny Omega is going to be in the match, and CM Punk's going to be in the match, so they're all going to be in the same building on the same night. So I get a feeling this is not going to be the last we hear of backstage unrest in the coming days. But what do you think of this entire new development, another development to add to the mix? Do you think the gang are going to get along come Sunday, or is there more delicious drama incoming? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because everyone's got an opinion on this right now, and they're all as compelling and crazy as the actual events themselves. And speaking of crazy things that just keep on going down in the land of pro wrestling right about now, or more sports entertainment when it comes to this particular story, WWE are thinking of bringing even more main roster talents to NXT in the coming weeks, because it's been rather successful. Last week in particular, it was really successful, and I will go into that a little bit later on in this story. But Ronda Rousey is somebody that WWE are thinking about, they're talking about at least bringing to NXT for an appearance. So it's not known what that appearance would be. This is all, again, according to Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And we've had a few people obviously pop up on NXT over the last couple of weeks from the main roster. You had Seth Rollins, who showed up last week and defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker, best name in all of wrestling if you ask me. You've also had Mustafa Ali, Baron Corbin, Dana Brooke, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo all popping up on the brand in recent weeks. And the numbers are seeming to kind of steadily go up, because these are more well-known names. They're on bigger platforms, obviously, on the Raws and SmackDowns. When they go into NXT, people are like, oh yeah, I know them, I'm going to go and watch NXT for a little bit. Last week in particular was seen as a huge success, according to Meltzer, because it led to the show's highest total audience since August 20th, 2021. So that's yeah, quite good indeed, and that's a couple of years now, so that's a big old number, and it shows that something's working. And WWE tend to see these kind of these facts, these figures, ideas and go, you know what, if that's working, we're going to do it even more. So it's not going to be too much of a surprise if we see Ronda Rousey and maybe even Shayna Baszler both pop up together with their new unified tag team championships. Obviously, they unified those belts on SmackDown this week, so maybe they could pop up. And I think we're going to see next week, we've got Baron Corbin taking on Carmelo Hayes for his NXT championship, so that's going to be a thing. And that's, yeah, I'm okay with this, to be honest. I like my NXT. I obviously covered it a lot, like back in the day, did a lot of ups and downs. They're still there on YouTube. If you want to go back and just watch me flailing around, getting all sweaty with a big beard, it's all there. So I'm quite excited about this. I like seeing people go back. Maybe we're even going to get LA Knight going back and just saying, yeah, and having the whole, like, CWC, it's not the CWC now, it's the Performance Center, isn't it? Having all them go, yeah, do all that. That'd be great. It gets me excited. I get flustered when I talk about LA Knight, so it just gets me all sweaty. But yeah, also, just a quick thank you right now. I'm going off on a weird old tangent, but just a quick thank you for subscribing to all things WhatCulture, obviously, as you are doing right now. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it here, all of us lovely idiots at WhatCulture Wrestling, so thank you very much for that. And just kind of completely shifting gears now, we're going to talk about more AEW. We're going to talk about AEW All In, which is going down in the lovely UK. Obviously, we're all going to be there at Wembley, having a great time, and reportedly, it's doing really well, obviously. Like, that's been noted, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, and now, I think Dave Meltzer is again reporting that this show, this all-in show, is reportedly going to have the highest gates for a pro wrestling show since WrestleMania 23, that was a long time, 32. The numbers were there, I just put them in the wrong order because my brain does silly things on a Saturday morning. So, the promotion has sold more tickets than ever before in company history, obviously, despite not even announcing a damn match for it, and we're like a couple of months away now, and it's still selling tickets because we want to see some all-elite goodness over here in England. And it'll be the first event in the country and the biggest attended show in company history, of course, for AEW alone. But Meltzer's reporting now that the event has sold 66,500 tickets, and that's about an $8.35 million gate. So that's hugely impressive. And obviously that's the biggest gate we've seen since WrestleMania 32 that went down in Dallas, Texas's AT&T Stadium. And that had the main event, the headline of Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. That was not controversial at all. Nobody booed. Everyone had a great time. And hopefully, yeah, the same thing happens at All In and there's no booing. I don't think there will be booing. I think people will cheer, go crazy, as long as they don't do something ridiculous like having, I don't know, CM Punk beat MJF in a 2-minute squash. It could happen, couldn't it? That's scary now. I've just put it out there. I'm sorry about that. So, speaking of just putting things out there and changing things up and just being a menace, really, when it comes to booking decisions, Vince McMahon. Yeah, he's definitely back. He's back in and around the whole booking gorilla position. I don't know if he was actually there in gorilla, but he's been causing chaos just via Zoom at this point. So, he's done it again on SmackDown. I'm laughing because it's just hilariously like weird and baffling and surreal, and it's just the chaos of backstage WWE just never ceases to amaze me and make me laugh. But this has now been called getting Vinced. That's what somebody said. Like, they were obviously looking at all the show that was coming into this week's SmackDown. Like, we're looking at all the matches that were going to be there. It was like Cameron Grimes versus Baron Corbin. I think Bayley versus Shotzi for like the Money in the Bank spot or something. Like, that was on the line. There's a couple of matches that were all announced and people were like, yeah, we're really excited about them. And then they all just got taken away, just changed up, and just other stuff was put in there. And apparently one person backstage reportedly asked, did SmackDown get Vinced? And that's what I'm going to start saying whenever something goes weird now, and something just doesn't go to plan, or just something doesn't happen that was announced. It just got Vinced, and there were some significant changes. Like I said, a few of those matches didn't happen. I think another one was LA Knights versus Santos Escobar versus Butch. That didn't happen. Instead, you had LA Knight versus Rey Mysterio, which was a fun little match, but it was not the one that was announced. And that was obviously a staple of Vince McMahon's last, like, major proper run of him being in Gorilla, just matches getting taken away and getting announced and then just not happening. It was just like, why do we even bother? Why do we get invested in things when they just get taken away? And that's what happened. I mean, SmackDown was fine, I guess, but it annoys you a little bit because you get excited about something for a couple of days and then it just doesn't happen. You're like, well, are we not even going to reference they didn't happen? You're not even going to do an angle to explain why the match didn't happen? No, we're just going to pretend everything is fine, and that's how it was always meant to be. And apparently some people were just a bit miffed and a bit annoyed backstage. And you can't really blame them, to be honest. Can you imagine like coming into work and being told, yeah, we're going to do this for a couple of days, and then on the day you're meant to do it, they say, no, we're going to change everything, you're going to have to make it all up and make it look good. Oh, it'd be frustrating, but that's why they get paid the big bucks. I don't know, it's a strange world, WWE, right now. I don't know what to expect week to week, but what I can expect is Money in the Bank coming July 1st, and I'm excited about that, because again, it's going to be in the UK. The UK is being gifted, we're being spoiled by a lot of wrestling in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, and I'm giddy about it. I'm a giddy boy. It means that I just don't have to stay up late and watch wrestling, which is great. It's all good stuff. So, thank you very much for watching this video today, and go and check out another one. There's going to be another one probably here around me now. Go and click on it. Have yourself the best of days. Follow myself on Twitter at gmorgan04, and follow everyone here at WhatCulture at WhatCulture WWE, and have yourself a jolly good Saturday. Bye bye.